Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Triad News. I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Courtney Leopold. Coming up, a live report on local schools and layoffs.
And a look into a college's new food program. But let's throw it over to our weather person, Nick Blackman, with a preview of this week's weather.
Guys, we've had an unreal last couple of weeks with the weather. It's been absolutely gorgeous out. Guaranteed spring's here to stay. I'll be bringing up, as you can see right now, the pressure system's 7-day forecast and a look at our country's national forecast. Guys, back to you.
Park Elementary School, and summer is quickly approaching. While many students across Guilford County are excited, there are certain people who are not. Superintendent Sharon L. Contreras issued a statement saying that 50 teacher assistants will be laid off by the end of the year. More coming for you later.
Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. One person was shot and killed at a High Point home this past weekend.
Yes, police have released the identity of the man wanted in connection with the murder of 31-year-old Marcus Boyce.
Police are searching for Timothy Walker, 23, of High Point. They have a murder warrant and consider Walker armed and dangerous.
This is the 8th homicide in High Point this year compared to 7 all of last year.
Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers or text cash tips.
A husband fatally shot his estranged wife in San Bernardino, California classroom yesterday morning.
The shooter, Cedric Anderson, walked into the elementary school armed with a large caliber revolver and opened fire.
Anderson signed into the front office where he entered the school. He told employees he wanted to drop something off, and his wife then headed to her classroom.
2 students were shot. After being airlifted from the school, an 8-year-old student has died and 1 is in stable condition, according to the hospital.
Funding schools is a major issue for states all over the country.
As budgets shrink and money is needed to cover state mandates, schools often face very difficult decisions.
Yes, Sydney, and joining us live from Kirkham Elementary School is Triad News reporter Danielle Nerone with more on some very difficult times for teachers ahead. Danielle?
This proposal was made under Housing Bill number 13, and in this proposal, they want smaller class sizes. So in order to have small class sizes, they need less teacher assistants for more class opportunities. When this proposal is made, they will have more classes but less teacher assistants. We will get more teachers from this opportunity. And nothing has been confirmed yet, but we are hoping that a decision will be made soon. This decision can affect any school in Guilford County, and we are hoping that no matter what happens, there will be a lot of opportunities for students and teachers in the classroom. Unfortunately, teacher assistants will be cut off. I read that teacher assistants will be notified by their principal when this decision is made. So when we have students and teachers at school, there will be less teacher assistants there to help them, but more classrooms. And this is Danielle Nerone reporting live from Triad News. Back to you at the studio. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. The Guilford County School District has said it will work with each employee to possibly find them another position within the school district.
But as one can imagine, Sydney, money will be an issue finding 50 people other jobs in the schools. Thank you, Danielle.
North Carolina's 95,000 full-time teachers provide the building blocks to success across the state.
But what's the impact on education if those teachers aren't in the classroom?
Here to tell us more about North Carolina's absent teachers is Triad News reporter Graylin Glover.
More than 30% of North Carolina teachers miss at least 2 weeks of classes each academic year. The U.S. Department of Education deems those teachers who miss that much time as chronically absent.
Those teachers are deemed chronically absent by the U.S. Department of Education. Statistics from the agency's Office of Civil Rights show that educator attendance varies from state to state, from district to district, and even from school to school, Courtney.
In Wake County, 22% of teachers were chronically absent, 29% in Durham, 25% in Cumberland, and 75% in Robeson County. The data showed charter schools, on average, had lower rates of teacher absenteeism than traditional public schools.
Wake County provides an incentive for teachers not to use sick days. Teachers can bank them and have them factored into their retirement, but other local school systems have different policies.
Well, graduating high school seniors in the state of New York have even more to look forward to when it comes to college.
They definitely do, Courtney. The state of New York will be the first to provide free tuition to 2- and 4-year public colleges, and this will apply to residents meeting a certain income gap and will be phased in over the next 3 years if approved by the State Assembly and Senate.
Students must take at least 30 credits a year to stay eligible for free tuition, which can cover up to $6,500.
But what will they be taking when they get to college?
New fields of study are appearing all over the country and new courses are being created. One of those new programs is here in the Triad. A new culinary program is coming to Greensboro Technical Community College.
Joining us in studio is Albert Schmid, Director of the Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management Program at Greensboro Technical Community College, with a course of great taste. Thank you for being here tonight.
Oh, my pleasure, Sydney.
So this new program, what was the driving force for it?
Well, the driving force is the economy, and so what we're finding is that more people want to open up restaurants, and so a diploma in mobile catering and food truck management is just the ticket. They can do it very quickly and return to the workforce.
So what sort of requirements or prerequisites are required for this new program?
Well, we look for a high school diploma. So, and the best part about this diploma is that it's embedded into the larger associate's degree in culinary arts.
Great. And why do you think this program involving food trucks is so important today?
Well, food trucks, really what we teach the students to do is the science of making money. And for a restaurant to open, basically you need about $1 million capital or $1.5 million, and most graduating college students don't have that amount of money. So what this does is it allows them to enter the workforce, be their own boss, do their own cuisine, and really reap the benefits from that. And so the overhead to start a food truck is much lower than a restaurant.
So would you say taking business courses would be helpful to this major?
Absolutely, and as a matter of fact, we have several business courses embedded, like small business management. We also have a social media marketing class, and we also have an accounting class, which regular culinary students don't normally see.
And do you think this will be popular? Do you think you'll have many students signing up to be in this major?
Our phones have been ringing off the hook, so we have a whole list of students who are really interested in this program.
And how many students do you think you will be taking on to start this new program?
We're hoping to take the first 20 for the first year, and then we're going to expand it from there, and we're going to see how it goes.
And I know that GTCC has a food truck on campus. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely, the Green Machine. So the Green Machine, it's a state-of-the-art food truck. We spared no expense for the students. It's got an LED system to light up the truck. We have a sound system so that the students can play music and also make announcements. It has a griddle, a fryer, everything that you need to make any type of cuisine. And the students are going to be really dictating to us what the cuisine is going to be.
Now, I know you talked about your favorite cuisine to cook, so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and so I love Cajun and Creole, and always love to be able to fit that into my cuisine.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. Definitely a little bit hungry now, so thank you so much again.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being in studio once again, and coming up on Triad News, an easy way to make money while in college.
And sight and sounds from around the world.
Thanks, guys. I'm outside here of H.H. Gregg, outside of Greensboro, North Carolina. What has seemed to be a down year in retail and department stores, H.H. Gregg is soon to be joining an elite group of names that are shutting down a majority of their stores this year. Unsuccessful sales in retail and department is leading to this cause, and I'll have more on the shutdown of H.H. Gregg very soon. Thank you, and back to you guys.
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse,
Need a claim number?
her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a.
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Triad News. I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Courtney Leopold.
A church carnival in South Carolina almost turned deadly when not one, but 2 bounce houses with children inside were picked up by the wind, and one was sent into a tree and the other into power lines.
Wow, Sydney. 5 children were injured and taken to a hospital Saturday, but their condition is not known. This is not the first time a bounce house has caused harm.
No, Courtney. In March of 2016, a young girl in England died when a bounce house flew away. And in May of 2014, 2 boys in New York were injured after falling nearly 2 stories when their bounce house was picked up by the wind.
Wow. Well, 2 teenage girls died Wednesday afternoon after they fell from a hotel balcony.
The incident happened around 4 p.m. When the police got to the scene. They found the girls, ages 16 and 17, deceased.
The reason for the fall has not been released yet. However, police do not suspect foul play.
Indianapolis retailer H.H. Gregg will begin to liquidate merchandise and close stores this week.
Another big box store has lost out on online shopping. Live with more on the story is Triad News reporter Ryan McLaughlin. Ryan.
Thank you, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'm outside of H.H. Gregg in Greensboro, North Carolina. As you can see here, I was just inside the store where it matched a very funeral home type atmosphere. Now that's right, H.H. Gregg is looking to go into a foreclosure as of Friday. They charged for Chapter 11 foreclosure, and things are not looking good for the retail and department store. They're looking to join Sears and J.C. Penney, who have also had to close many of their stores. Now, as of Friday, they have had to look for a last-minute buyer to help save the company and save many of the stores, but have not been able to succeed in doing so. They have had to close 88 of 220 stores nationwide due to unsuccessful retail and department store sellings this year. Have not been reaching success in these sales departments and have joined a great list of stores, as it has seemed to be a major slump in retail and department stores this year. H.H. Gregg inside the store with managers declined for interviews, but things are not looking up for this department store as well as many others. So that is it for now. The foreclosing of H.H. Gregg and many other department stores are only on the rise right now. As I mentioned, things are not looking up for the department store. So that is all for now here at H.H. Gregg in Greensboro, North Carolina. Thank you for joining us, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Ryan. Coming up, Nick Blackman is in with a look at the 5-day forecast.
And a new version of Uber. We'll be right back after the break.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off. Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to Triad News. I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Courtney Leopold. It's sunny, it's warm, and it's just great today outside.
It was so nice walking around outside today. So let's toss it to our weather person, Nick Blackman, with more on this week's weather. So please tell me it is going to stay this way, Nick.
Cloudless and sunny, you said it first, exactly the way we've been liking it so far. At first, I told you I'm going to take you through these pressure systems that we're seeing out here towards the west coast. A lot of this warm weather has been working its way up through the top of the west coast and down all the way through into the Midwest area, as you see here. A little rain coming our way shortly, not in this week or towards the end of next week. We could probably see some rain. Let's take a look at our national temperatures. As you can see here again, pretty average out in California, around 52. Gets hot during the day and then cold at night. And as we work our way down, pretty much average temperatures all around the country. The only place that we should probably look out for is down on the East Coast. If we look down here, we see some temperatures that are not usually there, but could be for the long haul. So as you can see, up north in the northwest, New Jersey, high of 82 today. That is outstanding for that time. As we look at our state map. And as you can see here, sunny, like I said, cloudless and beautiful out. And hopefully in these next 7 days that I'm about to show you, we can pull that right up. Today, can't set it enough. 80, beautiful, high of 80. Put on a jacket if you're going out tonight with a low of 57. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 79, low of 53. Thursday, a high of 76 with a low of 52. Friday, a high of 81 and a low of 56, around what we were feeling today. As we move in towards the weekend and next week, you could see Saturday with a high of 80 and a low of 58. And then Sunday to wrap up the week, a high of 82 and a low of 59. So if you're heading to the beach this weekend, definitely the time to do it. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Nick. Now, we're all familiar with the term Uber, but because most of us have used Uber in our lives at some point.
Yeah, Uber is an online transportation network company that allows people to drive their own car, pick up those who need a ride. It's an easy way for the driver to make a few extra bucks.
Uber is very popular around college campuses because it's an easy and safe way for students to get to and from places without having to think twice about getting behind the wheel if they've been drinking.
Kevin Norman, a student at Appalachian State University, is one of those many that has taken on the role as Uber driver, known as beeping.
Beeping is considered like an Uber for app, and what it is students can post on a Facebook page and tell whether people are beeping or not. I started beeping because I couldn't find a job right away. I applied to a couple places around the area and just wasn't having any luck, and then I actually heard about beeping from a friend, and I tried it out for one night just to see how it was, and made around between $60 to $100.
Beeping allows students to be designated drivers for whatever night they may choose. It works off a tip system, which is $2 for each person in a group or $3 for a single person. Senior Vice President of Student Life, Gail Tuttle, voices her opinion on students as Ubers during an interview.
I'd want to discuss it. I'd want to have an active discussion to talk about the pros and cons. I'd have to review the liability from our insurance coverage perspective and with our attorneys and all that. But I think that's better than strangers.
For this area, I think it's safe to have student drivers just because everything's so close that getting from point A to point B isn't that hard, so having a student driver is a lot easier, and students can relate to them and actually have a conversation with their driver. And it's like a good social aspect too, because I mean, you meet new people every day, so it's nice.
Pricing is simple. Each person in the car is charged $2, regardless of destination or length of time in the car.
Most students are being taken to and from the bars, so paying $2 to guarantee safety doesn't really sound like a bad deal.
Not at all, Sydney.
Coming up, a look at High Point University sports.
And a story about celebrating our differences. We will be right back after our break.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse,
You need a claim number?
her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a.
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back to Triad News. I'm Sydney Chevront.
And I'm Courtney Leopold.
In the studio with us is Triad News reporter, or Triad Sports reporter, Dee Logan. How's High Point doing as their seasons are coming to an end?
All right, guys. Thank you. The High Point women's lacrosse team claimed their 9th straight win, 19-8, against Longwood University this past weekend. They're now tied for the second longest win streak in school history and are currently tied for the second longest win streak in NCAA Division I. The Panthers continue their Big South play this Wednesday at 4 p.m. against Radford University. Meanwhile, junior Brooke Stevens has been named HPU Athlete of the Week. Stevens tallied a career-high 10 points in HPU's 20-10 win over Winthrop on Wednesday. It was also the second most points in a single game in HPU history. On Saturday, the men's lacrosse team traveled to Louisville, Kentucky and fell short against Bellarmine, 7-5. Junior Peyton Garrett led the Panthers with 2 goals for his first multi-goal game of the season. Bellarmine had 2 players with 2 goals each. The Panthers have lost 3 in a row and 6 of their last 7. They hope to turn things around against Furman on Saturday at noon at Vert Stadium. This past weekend, the High Point men's baseball team took 2 out of 3 against the Campbell Camels by winning the series finale 9-7 on Sunday. The series win puts the Panthers at 16-15 overall and 5-7 in conference play. The Panthers will travel to Elon for a 6 o'clock matchup tonight. Their next home games will be Thursday, April 13th through the 15th when they face off against the conference opponent UNC Asheville at Willard Stadium. Friday night's game between the Panthers and the Bulldogs will be televised live on ESPN3 at 7 p.m. The HPU men's and women's track and field teams performed well this past Friday and Saturday at the Liberty Collegiate Invitational. For the women, senior Jamie Schnook broke the school hammer throw record and placed 3rd. Junior Mackenzie Holmes D. Giovanni won the discus, and junior Sienna Soper set a personal record in the heptathlon. For the men, freshman Pablo Romero Gonzalez came in first in the decathlon, and sophomore Britton Mann won the discus throw. The Panthers look forward to the Phoenix Invitational this Saturday at Elon University. The High Point University golf teams have a break from tournament play this week. Both teams will be back in action next week in the Big South Conference Championships. The women's competition runs from April 17th through the 19th, while the men's team plays April 21st through the 23rd. Both men's and women's championships will be held at the Patriot Golf Club in 96, South Carolina. Saturday night was the 3rd annual High Point University Athletics Hall of Fame induction, where more than 200 former athletes, coaches, and staff gathered to celebrate 5 extraordinary members of the HPU athletics family. The class of 2017 included women's basketball and volleyball stars Wanda Wilson-Klein and Ethel White, men's basketball legend Danny Sewell, and track and field and cross-country standout Mike Termala. Additionally, the men's baseball coach Chuck Hartman was also awarded. Awards and banquets at the end of sports seasons are always great times. Thanks, Dee.
They sure are. Thank you, Dee. Now, as the world gets smaller through the internet, what happens when the oceans become more important here at home?
Well, Sunny, understanding our differences and what also makes us similar is something everyone should consider.
Definitely. And Triad News reporter Amy He has the story of a grand celebration of cultures.
Martial arts from China and Philippines. Rapper from Morocco. Dances from Ghana. Henna designs from Pakistan. Food from varieties of countries, cultures from around the world. Happening in one place and in one moment at a time to share their experiences with each other. Global Student Association hosted the second annual International Festival this Saturday at High Point University in High Point, North Carolina. The festival is for students in the HPU community to learn about other cultures that are represented in the world. We sit in classes with students from other countries every day, but we don't realize they share another culture than us. We all act the same, wear the same type of clothes, but we all grow up with different cultures. These cultural differences sometimes get in the way of communicating with one another. We do things that might be offensive to others and we don't realize it till after. That is why Global Student Association began hosting the International Festival last year. GSA wants everyone in the community to learn that there is more than one culture presented in the world and it can be fun to learn about others. So use the internet, talk to international students, and learn more about other cultures and accept others, not just for the person, but their culture as well.
Take a few minutes to learn and see each other.
A simple festival and a few dances could be all it takes to begin a new understanding. Thank you, Amy.
And today it's National Pet Day.
And we have got a cute one for you. And no, it is not our teacher. We'll be right back.
Did you take your medicine? Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse,
Need a claim number?
her personal assistant,
Let me just grab a...
her housekeeper, her cook, her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I had something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Joining us in studio today is Triad News producer Justin Paterno and his friend Cosmo.
Hi.
Yes, this is Cosmo. He is my rescue dog. I got him from the Guilford County Animal Shelter down the road. He's about a year and a half old now. And yeah, it's National Pet Day, so I thought, bring him in, see what I do all day while, normally he's home alone being all sad and stuff. And it's very interesting, actually. There's like 6.5 million dogs that go into, dogs and cats, that go into shelters every year, and only about like 3.2 million get adopted, so,
It's definitely adopt, don't shop.
Yeah, the thing is, purebred dogs, they look nice, but they're not gonna last as long, they get sick easier, they have a lot of mental and physical ailments, and if you get just a real healthy, beautiful mutt like Cosmo, aka Simo, aka Cosmosis Jones, aka the best dog you've ever seen in your life.
Now, how old is he?
Yeah, I said he's about a year and a half, but that's also estimated.
Yeah,
he was on the street for approximately the first 6 months of his life. He his birthday is January 1st, so.
Cosmo.
Yep.
Well, that's all the time we have tonight. For Triad News, I'm Sydney Chevron.
And I'm Courtney Leopold. I hope you have a great night.
Bye.